Alright, so this issue we saw in the last episode where we have this cannot read undefined title. That's because we need to create plans here. So to get started with, I have already created these in my other application here. So in React Stripe table, I think it is. In here, I've already created the 4 different plans here. So I'm going to copy those into this database here. You can then see we have, this is not fully copied in actually. So let's just swap these around. So I'm going to just expand them here. And in here we have the is annual here, that's 0 because this is not annual. And then in here we have 350, we have 1. And then because this is the premium one, we will have 0 because that's not annual. And then this one is annual. And then we have Stripe ID. And the way we do this is essentially inside the Stripe dashboard, you can create a new plan. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. All right, I've signed into my Stripe account here. And in here, you can see that I've already created these for my example demo, where all we really need to do is we need to create a plan. So what you do is you go in and click Add Product. You then select how often you want it to occur. So if you're creating an annual, you select yearly and you put in the price of the total yearly cost. And if it's a monthly one, you select it as a monthly, or if it's a weekly one, so on and so on. So I've already copied these in from the previous one, and I don't want to end up creating too many plans. But what you basically do is you create a product, you add then into this product, and you can then add another price. And then you can, for example, say this should be the yearly one. And you just copy these IDs here, which is the price ID essentially. And those price IDs can then be put in here, which we are then using to communicate what the price should be for the product. So if we now head into this SaaS Boilerplate, can I just log in? There we go. And let's just set to the premium page. You can now see we have these here where they will swap essentially, regardless of anything. So that's how we do that. And these plans here are essentially allowing us to essentially pull it all from the database instead of having to go through adding them manually into a JSON object or the line. You could even add a JSON column which has all the features you get with each individual plan to make it easier for yourself. But it's really up to you how you wish to proceed with this. So with that said and with that done, let's head into the web.php file. In here, we have this root called subscribe. So let's head in to that root. So in here, we want to make sure it's inside the authenticated one. So I'm going to make a route host subscribe. And in this case, I want to put this into the subscription pay controller, which we're going to be creating now. And we want to probably actually just say subscription pay with ID instead. So we pass through the ID, as you can see, we're doing inside the subscription form here. We're passing through the payment method ID, which is what we're passing through route. I'm going to create a route here, a controller here called subscription pay controller. And I'm also going to make sure we comment this out so it doesn't error out. And actually it should be invocable, so let's make that the case as well. If I then go ahead and click import the class, that's perfect. And then what we can do inside the subscription pay controller is we can charge the users. So in here, I want to have user the same as request user. I'm going to be saying plan is where plan title is the same as the plan that we get passed through. Get first of all as well. If user is subscribed else we will do something else in here, and we also want to redirect. So if said user is subscribed, then we want to say is user subscription default swap with the Stripe ID in here, because we're then upgrading or downgrading the user depending on the circumstances. And if in the other case the user hasn't got any subscription, we want to say new subscription. And in here, we just want to pass through the ID up here. And that should be it, actually. So with this sorted, we're now able to essentially subscribe to a new place. And then we want to redirect back for now. We will update this to go to the route I want it to be later on. And you may have different approach to it, obviously, but that's how we would do it here. So let's go ahead and test this out. So before you do this as well, make sure that you have Stripe set in your env files. So the way you would do that is basically, I'm going to go ahead and copy mine in. These are only for testing purposes, so these won't be accurate, but you would need to set in these here. And basically that would allow you to then put through these to get your payment sorted out. And then outside of that, inside the Stripe dashboard, you head to Developers tab, API keys, you'll be able to find the keys here. So I'm going to close down this tab now. I'm going to refresh the page. I'm going to pass through a random card number here. And then I'm going to click subscribe. And let's see what's happening. So inside the users model, we have now got the last 4 digits here. Let's see if we actually got subscribed or not. Head into the dashboard to Stripe. In here, inside the payments, even the customers really, you can see that today is the 23rd of February. We created this one here at 12:02. And desubscribed. So that went through. There's some other issues in here we need to kind of work with. So let's work on that in the next video. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.